Going?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright. So first we're going to talk about the packet. So on your left page is a folder. You guys can pull that out. Sorry. Yeah, just share with Abigail. Just kind of look at it. So guys, hopefully you're excited to get your gains and or lose whatever you want to do. So it's got the girls' credentials on here. This is the lady we're working with, who's a registered dietitian. She does CrossFit. She's a CrossFit coach, so she knows all about sports performance and all that. So you guys can flip to the first page. Some of you, the packet might look different. Hopefully not. Your first page you should see is the kind of the agenda. So we got the key there. The things we'll be covering. Abigail, you might want to flip on to the back. Yeah, yours is going to be backwards. I messed that up. There we go. So, guys, you can write in your date that you got this initial testing done. So the 16th. You don't have to write it in today, but just as long as when we retest it's pretty close to that again, 28 days later, that's all we're looking for. It doesn't have to be exact. So that other line is going to be the sign up for when we do this again. So I'll put the sign up sheet up in like 2 weeks. That way it's 2 weeks away from the next testing, so you have plenty of time to plan to be here to get all your retesting done. So anyway, you guys can flip to the next page. We should be looking at keys to success, where Abigail flip back. You have to keep doing that. So these are just some good tips, guys. That'll help with everything, not even necessarily the meal plan, but just in general. Drinking water is big. So who here drinks 80 ounces a day? Okay. If you guys don't, that's pretty low, especially if you're working out. You know, a good way to do it is to either get a really big water bottle that you carry around all day. I used to carry around a gallon of water a day. And then it got to the point where I was drinking like 3 of them a day, and that was really bad. So, so you don't want too much water, but that's a good way, because if it's in your hand, you're probably going to be more likely to drink it. So carrying around something to drink from. You want to avoid juices and soda. That's going to be a big thing. It's just a lot of sugar. You would think juice, you know, it's healthier, but when you take out the fiber from fruit, that turns it into juice. Your body just takes it right in as fructose, which is not necessarily the best thing. Basically just sees it as straight sugar, and then it has to process it. You know, it gives you a nice insulin spike, which we don't want happening a lot throughout the day. So timing can come in with that. Like after your workout, if you really need to drink your juice, I would drink it then, right after your workout. But you know, waking up and drinking a tall glass of orange juice is probably not the best thing for your body. I would avoid those, especially sodas. You know, there's a lot of research out there with soda, and you know, links to osteoporosis and just like a whole ton of bad stuff. Obviously the sugar's bad too, but you know, it's not a good thing. So I would avoid that. Staying consistent is going to be big for this. So not necessarily eating the same thing, eating the same time every day, but trying to eat every couple hours, every few hours, you know, not going like 10 hours without a meal or without a snack, keeping your metabolism going, because usually when you're not feeding it, your metabolism tends to slow down. So we always want to keep it up as high as we can. So if you're eating a meal or a snack pretty consistently, it's going to serve you better. So also you want to try to pair proteins and carbs in every meal. So you don't just want to have a huge meal of just pasta. You know, maybe throw some chicken on there, or you don't want to eat too much pasta anyway, but you know, try to pair both in every meal. And once again, that'll keep that metabolism going too. But consistency is big. So like the Sunday prep day, that can help with that too. Preparing for the whole week in advance, that kind of helps you be consistent, because if you're, you know, say Tuesday comes and you run out of food, and like for me, for me as an example, if I'm here and I don't have anything to eat, I'm probably going to be more likely to order wings or something that I shouldn't order because I don't have food, because I'm hungry, and when you're in that moment, you're more likely to grab something you eat that you shouldn't. You know, go to the gas station, grab a bag of chips instead of having your meal planned and packed with you. So Sunday is huge. You know, you can get a lot done with a crock pot. You could set it in the morning, and then it could cook for you all day, and when you get home, it's all done. that's a good way to get some meals cooking while you're not there. Another thing that we'll talk about is a food swap. So since most of the people doing the challenge are from the gym, all but two, I mentioned last night, if you guys want to get together and say, hey, I'm going to make this dish, why don't you make this dish, and then we can split it in half, or split it in threes, or split it in fours, and then you kind of get some variation, and then you don't have to cook a whole bunch of meals. So that's one way to get some variety. As long as you trust what other people are cooking, that's going to be the hard part, but just a good way to kind of mix it up and to not have to cook 10 different meals for the week, just because eating the same thing every day kind of gets boring. Alcohol definitely does not help with weight loss, fat loss. Basically alcohol is an empty calorie, so when it goes in, the only thing your body can do with it is store it as fat. You can't use it for anything. Unfortunately, it doesn't get turned into protein, or you can't just put it right in your muscle, I wish. But so I would avoid that as best you can. Post-workout recovery is big. So whey protein is probably the easiest one to find as far as the advantages of taking that. It gets quickly absorbed by your body. There's a lot of different proteins out there. I would avoid soy. Soy's got a lot of link to like jacking up your estrogen levels. So ladies, you don't want too high of an estrogen level, and guys, we don't either, obviously. But keeping those hormones in balance is good, which we'll talk about later. But whey proteins, it's a good protein. It goes in, it goes right to work. It's a quick absorbing protein. Also, you guys want to try to get some carb sources post-workout, so usually like your quick absorbing. That's why I talked about fruit, or no, fruit juice. Fruit's good too, but fruit juice will go right in, and at that time after you work out, your body's kind of pulling for those sugars. So what it does is it takes the sugar, pulls it from your bloodstream, actually carries protein in with it into the muscle, and then it stores it as energy. So it stores it as glycogen, which you use then for the next day, for your next workout. So, having a carb source post-workout is definitely good to go along with the protein. Fish oil supplement or omega-3 supplement is big. Omega-3s decrease inflammation, and since you guys work out a lot, your joints, your muscles there's a lot more inflammation in your body than most people. So you want to decrease that. And they also help with your HDL levels. So the higher your HDL, the better. It just kind of helps take away that low LDL or the high LDL level, which is your bad cholesterol. HDL is your good cholesterol. So omega-3s are great. As far as sleep goes, guys, sleep's really important. You want to try to get at least 6 hours a night. Let's shoot for 6 to 9. That's usually a pretty standard range. I'm going to go turn the music down.
Good call.
He's going to put this online, right?
Good stuff. Good stuff. How's he doing so far, Scotty?
He's covered all the basics, doing good.
Awesome.
I've let him in charge.
Gotta show everyone who's not here who's here. Okay. So sleep's big. As far as hormones go, if you don't sleep enough, your cortisol level usually tends to go up, and that's your stress hormone, which adds on to increased body fat. So if you're not sleeping enough, you can retain body fat a lot more. Also, leptin and ghrelin, those are a couple other important hormones. Ghrelin is the one that makes you hungry, so if you're not sleeping enough, you might not feel very hungry the next day. Like I said, consistency is key, so eating every 3 hours is key. You don't want to go all day without eating, even if you don't feel hungry, it's still not a good thing. So, anyway, next we'll move on. Goal setting. So you should be looking at this page, goal setting. SMART goal is at the top. Probably on the back here is again out here. So, have you guys ever heard of a SMART goal? Maybe a couple of you guys. So, SMART goal is specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and it's time oriented. So, pretty straightforward what they mean, but specific meaning, you know, lose 2 pounds in a month. That's specific. You know, if you were just to say, I want to lose weight, that's not very specific. So you want to have something that you can actually track and measure. That's where measurable comes in. So we did all those measurements upstairs, you know, so those would be a good thing. So if you want to lose 2% body fat, or you want to lose 5 pounds, or you want to lose a couple inches off your waist, those would all be specific. And it's something that's realistic. You know, you don't want to say, like, I want to lose 50 pounds in a month. You know, that could happen, but that's not good weight loss. Probably not going to happen for most people, so I wouldn't write that down. And then, like I said, time sensitive, we're time oriented, so the end of this 28 days, I would try to make it for then. You know, if you have a couple month goal, you could put that. This could just be like kind of like the start up to it. That's fine too. But then the next page, we're looking at setting your goals. You can either write 1 down, you can write 2 down if you want. If you want to write a third, there's a little room at the bottom. But like I said, try to include all that stuff. You know, I want to lose 2.5 pounds by the end of the 28 days. Or whatever it might be. But it doesn't even necessarily have to be all this stuff. It could be in the gym. If you want to make it, and I want to PR my back squat by 5 pounds or something like that. That'll work too. Alright, next we'll move on to Food 101. So you're looking at your carbohydrates page. It says Nutrition 101, Food for Fuel. So first we're going to talk about carbs. I'm sure most of you guys know at least one type of carbohydrate, hopefully. Who doesn't? Okay, good. So there's a lot of different types of carbohydrates. We're talking about your starchy carbs, so like your pasta, your bread, rice, quinoa, potatoes, things like that. And then you have vegetables and fruits, which are your non-starchy carbs. So I'd say the most important part of this diet is going to be getting as many non-starchy vegetables as you can. I would try to limit fruit. You guys don't want to get too much just because it has a high sugar level. Especially like your summer fruits, so like watermelon, cantaloupe, grapes, I think of any other ones. Any melon is a very high sugar level. It's high glycemic. Have you ever heard of the glycemic index? Ever heard of that? So it ranges foods from 0 to 100. It just tells you how much that's going to spike your blood sugar level. So if you eat cantaloupe versus eating wheat bread, you're going to have a lot higher insulin spike in the cantaloupe than eating wheat bread or something that doesn't have a high GI. So you can actually just like type in Google and Google any food what its GI level is. So I'd say anything below like 50 is pretty good. When you're getting towards like 60, 70, up from that, it's a pretty high level. So like I said, that just determines how much that's going to spike your blood sugar. So, you know, like I said before, you don't want to be spiking that too often throughout the day. After your workout is not a bad thing, but throughout the day, just not a good thing as far as keeping your body in that good state.
What, like, is a banana high or low?
Banana, it's kind of right in the middle. If you eat it like pretty ripe bananas, higher. Depends how ripe it is. Yeah. The riper it gets, the higher it goes. Rotten banana, don't eat. But bananas aren't super high compared to some of the other ones. Alright. Next we're going to talk about fiber. So fiber's big. Kind of going back to the high GI thing. Most things that are lower GI don't have a lot of, or higher GI, so the ones that are going to spike your blood sugar don't have a lot of fiber. So things with more fiber are probably better. So if you're eating, you know, a whole grain pasta versus just a white pasta or just regular pasta, that's going to have more fiber in it, which slows the absorption of your carbohydrate of what you just ate. So that's a good thing. It also slows glucose absorption, which, like I said, just blood sugar level. And it also makes you feel full. So eating more fiber is a good thing. You don't want to like get too much. You can have some backing up in there. We don't want that. But yeah, you can see there fruit, vegetables, and whole grains. So quinoa would have a good amount of fiber. Whole brown grain rice, any wheat bread, whole wheat bread, things like that.